Good morning. Busy old Friday. Let's have a look through. Stuttgart got the win which we expected them to get. This was your possible angle in 0-0 at half time. Champions League football is on their mind, so motivation there certainly. You could have laid the draw second half. Irish Premier Division. I'll start researching it as soon as the elite leagues have finished. Let's have a look at some of these matches yesterday. Derry City flying high at the moment. Again, another 0-0 at half time. It's up to you if you want to lay those second half. In-play stats will play a key role in determining whether those odds are correct. Shamrock Rovers and St Pat's. This was a 2 points dropped for Shamrock Rovers yesterday. No real trading angle. They led on 2 occasions. That 2-2 possibly gettable late on. Shelburne riding high in the Irish Premier Division. Did they come from behind? Indeed they did against Drogheda. So that was a possible angle there. Take on that Drogheda lead, given Shelburne are having an exceptional start to the season. One of the new names at the top there. So possible equaliser there. I was more fixated on the Italians, French and Dutch yesterday. I thought this would be a little tighter. It's a local derby, but no, the odds were spot on for Cork City. Finn Harps and Longford. Was this a Desmond Tutu? Indeed it was. 85th minute, Edigan. So you could have laid the draw as late as you want. Job done. UCD, even with 10 men, getting the better of Cork City, but the red card came without affecting the match very, very late on. Treaty and Wexford, another Desmond Tutu. Well, 97th minute, so that wouldn't have been layable. Absolutely dominant display from Inter Milan. They didn't need to win. Frosinone did need to win, but that's the difference in quality. Already champions. In the Dutch Eredivisie, a fascinating night last night. The matches starred are the matches of importance. This was the one to focus on, Groningen and Roda. Did lay Groningen at 1.04, 2-0 up, in case Roda fancied having a punt at trying to get that automatic promotion place. Goal difference only. So 1.04, it's a low odds lay of Groningen, but with good reason, I thought. Topos and Nac Breda, arguable. We could lay the draw there because there was a lot of teams on the same number of points yesterday. 56, 56, 56. The only thing changing is a goal difference. That's why I would have looked to lay that draw there. Nac Breda get the 3 points. They pretty much guarantee it, don't they? Sloppy performance from Girona against an Alaves side with absolutely nothing to play for. But there was a 1-2 lead by half time. That probably ended my interest in the match. And indeed, 99th minute equaliser could jeopardise Girona's Champions League spot, maybe. I don't think so, though. The importance is that 5th place, the gap between 5th and 2nd. So I think Girona are fine. They are an offshoot club of Manchester City. That explains a lot, doesn't it, about their sudden resurgence. My first shout last night, Gorica against Rudez, 1.36 favourite, goal down. Rather obvious. And a job done. Thankfully, Mitrovic got the goal and then was red carded. But didn't affect the final result. So that was a nice, simple play. Well, got to doff your hat to Crewe. Market didn't fancy them. 2-0 down from the first leg. 0-2 in a matter of minutes. 16 minutes. Wow. That's excellent. Who would have thunk that Crewe could get through against Donny? Well done to Crewe. English Professional Development League. I keep harping on about it. Over 2.5 goals is a steady angle, apart from the Swans and Birmingham there. But it's a general trend in these Professional Development League and the Premier League 2, which is another way of saying under 21s, basically. Finnish Veikkausliiga. We did target KUPS late on. They're playing top of the league, VPS, having an excellent start to the season. The red card could have impacted them. Low liability. That's what you get for laying late. You get low liability. And it didn't seem that VPS could get back on track there. Brest did get an equaliser against Reims before half-time. And Nice and Le Havre, well, this went the way of the market. Nice, not the most, not the biggest scorers in the world. So they're not a very good, reliable trading side because they do struggle in front of goal. French Ligue 2. Saint-Etienne and Rodez. Well, Rodez getting the equaliser right at the death against Saint-Etienne. But that knocked Saint-Etienne out of the promotion, automatic promotion spot. So now they're stuck in the playoff semi-final. But I think I still fancy Saint-Etienne. Look at Rodez. It's the importance of that point. Because Seine were leading. We did target the Seine draw. I passed that one on to you. It did end a draw, but it did go from 1-1 to 1-2 to Seine. And at 1-2, they were in that promotion quarter-final place. But this draw for Rodez, well, respect to that. Elsewhere, well, it was all job done at the bottom. So there was very little for us to get interested in French Ligue 2 yesterday. I don't think we played anything else apart from that draw there. Angers as well against the Nancy. Good result for Angers, which ensured they are automatically promoted. Had Saint-Etienne won yesterday, we had another 2 points to that. And on goal difference, Saint-Etienne would have gone through. So that Rodez equaliser could be very, very fatal if Saint-Etienne don't get their way through the promotion playoff places. Well, the neighbour's got his power tools out again. Bless him. So I've had to close the window. Italian Serie B, plenty going on there yesterday. If you're basing purely on in-play stats, Bari thoroughly deserved that win. But the main focus was on Como. Old Perry. Second in the league. Automatically promoted. Thanks to that draw. Because Venezia let the win slip. Venezia were playing Spezia. This is the kind of match you look for at this stage of the season. Both sides needing a win. Therefore, you take on any late draw. Look at Spezia with that win against Venezia. Spectacular. Just by the skin of their teeth out of the relegation zone. Well done to them. That was the key match. You look for matches like this in all last days of the season, both sides needing the win. You take on the draw, the 1-1. I think that was really the only one. Como and Spezia were the only two important matches because I think all the relegation job was... No, it wasn't, was it? Because Spezia got the win to get them out of the relegation zone. So good stuff there from Spezia. Well, it's high quality stuff in Rome at the moment. Any trades yesterday? Just on the basic principle of taking on the first set winner when it's not a favourite. Well, this was a retirement, and you can't legislate for retirements, which is a pity. But if you use my little strategy of waiting until the beginning of the second set, you might have saved some lost money. Atmane lost his first set match. Musetti retired. So he must have been playing under duress. He's a home man. He's an Italian. So I think he was trying his best. Grigor Dimitrov, no problem there. This was Darderi. Again, watch out for the locals. And 1.67, look at the rankings. They're tight enough as well. You've got a local in Italy. Again, you just wait. If you're going to take on the underdog leading the first set, tactic of mine is to just wait and see if Navoni loses his serve, which indeed he did. So at this 3-0, you could have laid Darderi at very, very short odds indeed, in the unlikely event that the odds-on favourite Navone would get back into this. But tight rankings, an Italian at home, it's a tricky old match. But I like that waiting for 2 or 3 games into the second set before getting involved. We saw it with Ostapenko yesterday as well. She was a set and 2-0 up in the second set, layable at 1.13. Her odds went up quite rapidly, I think, to about 1.4, 1.5. So you could have got a nice swing trade there. This is what you're looking for, though. Dropping the first set, Shelton winning the next 2. Montero, emphatic against Thompson. I thought Thompson would put in a bit more of an effort. Well, 1.57 favourite won the first set, so we wouldn't have been interested there. But you might have another possible strategy. If the first set is won via a tiebreak, you might take on that player. Zverev has got his mental capabilities back after his little spat in Munich. He's back at his very best. Any other shocks? Not really in the men's game. Well, this was a shock in the end, but Ruud did win the first set. And again, that could be another strategy in itself, couldn't it? A 6-0 lead suggests possible nerves. In the ladies' game, I prefer playing the men's tennis, to be honest. The ladies' service game is renowned for being a little wobbly. Let's have a look at some of these matches. Well, as you can see, Sofia Kenin won the first set against Ons Jabeur, who came back and won the second. That's all we're after, that move there from first to second set. 1.29 favourite, winning the second set, job done. But good result for Sofia Kenin yesterday. Elsewhere, well, this is what you're looking at. Magda Linette winning the first set via a tiebreaker. Effectively, when you won a tiebreaker, all you've done is won the right point at the right time. It's not an emphatic win. And Azarenka coming back, win the next 2 sets. That's what you're after. So this is working quite well in these high-profile tournaments, aren't they? And you know why? Because all of these players are trying to give 100%. They want to get on a winning streak so they can bring that kind of confidence and momentum into the French Open. Again, Volinets against Sabalenka. Volinets winning the first set. 1.1 favourite Sabalenka. Job done. So good stuff. Yet again, I shot the sheriff, winning the first set. Paolini, an Italian lady in Italy, winning the second and didn't win the third, but won the second. That's what you're after. So good stuff yesterday, and it'll continue. May to September now, you're going to get these high-quality tournaments throughout. This is the clay version. You'll be moving on to the grass soon, so you'll have Herten Stellenbosch, or whatever it's called, Halle, Queens, Eastbourne, and you'll still get all of these big names playing at their very best. Watch out today then as well. Let's have a look onto today's football. And there'll be a live stream at 2:30, youtube.com/@football trading profits. Hope you can make it. Quite simply, a must-win for Manchester City against a Fulham who've got absolutely nothing to play for. Man City should be targeting 3 goals or more as befits a 1.18 shot. Bournemouth and Brentford is a dead rubber. Everton and Sheffield United. Well, let's have a look at Sheffield United. Points-wise, is this a dead rubber for them? I think it might be. Yeah, it's a dead rubber. Sheffield United are down. Everton. I think Everton are favoured here today, quite rightly. Calvert-Lewin has been in excellent recent form. And he wants to keep that up because he's had a bit of a torrid time. And there's a Guay, is it? The other, yeah, Guay. I don't know how to pronounce that. But he's the other regular goal scorer now. And this kind of momentum, Sean Dyche would like to see continue. Newcastle and Brighton. I think Newcastle have an element of European football to look at. Brighton's season is over, but Newcastle are in that place, that Europa Conference League place, and Chelsea are right behind them. Manchester United are right behind them. So this is a must-win for Newcastle against a Brighton with nothing to motivate them this season. I would always go for motivation against dead rubber all the time. Tottenham against Burnley, it's a must-win. The wheels are falling off for Ange Postecoglou. Poor old Angie. 4 consecutive defeats now. Awful stuff. But a couple of London derbies and then Newcastle and Liverpool. Look at the amount of goals they're conceding. Awful stuff. Burnley, do they have any chance of survival? I think it's a squabble, isn't it, between Nottingham Forest and Brentford, realistically. 36, 2 matches remaining. 24 plus 6 is 30. So arguably, mathematically, Burnley, if they win, could go to the final day of the season, dependent on the Nottingham Forest result and Luton result. Must win for Burnley today to take them to 27 points and a chance at survival. So this is going to be interesting. Tottenham are wobbling. That's certainly the case. Well, David Moyes is gone, or he's still there. He's a dead man walking at West Ham. Luton Town must win. Simple as that. West Ham could be wobbly today. Wolves against Crystal Palace. I think that's a dead rubber, but in this kind of form, well, Crystal Palace at home are just banging in the goals. But away from home, it's a real contrast for Crystal Palace. It's 0-1 and 1-1 under the new manager. So there's an obvious tactic for Crystal Palace. At home, let them off the leash. Away from home, tighten the ship. Brilliant result against Liverpool, by the way. They're a side to watch next season if they can keep these players with this new manager. He's obviously found a way to get the goals. Wolves, very little to play for. Nottingham Forest, everything to play for. Chelsea as well have European football to play for. This is the kind of match you target for a late the draw. Mönchengladbach and Frankfurt, it's very unappealing as that suggests, as is Köln and Union Berlin. This is a relegation 6-pointer. Union Berlin for the first time this season went odds on at home, failing to win. But they gave us a really good run for our money, didn't they? 3-4 against Bochum Dano. This is your archetypal relegation 6-pointer. It's incredibly tough to call. FC Köln have a reputation for keeping things tight. You can see with that 0-0 latest. So it could be a bit of a snooze fest, this one. Freiburg and Heidenheim. Anything to motivate these two. I've liked Heidenheim this season. They thoroughly deserve their place in the top 10. Freiburg have a little bit of motivation. They've got Augsburg and Hoffenheim breathing down their necks in their attempt to save this Europa Conference League qualified place and even look for a Europa League group stage place as well. So plenty to motivate them. Heidenheim, still realistically, if they can take points off Freiburg, they could swap positions or at least be on similar points but with a negative goal difference. Well, they'll have the positive goal difference of 4. So that's a fascinating match. Plenty to play for here for the European places, Freiburg and Heidenheim. And I would not take these odds to heart. Heidenheim got that famous win against Bayern Munich. They have drawn a lot of teams as well, coming from behind as well. Leipzig and Werder Bremen, this is all about Champions League football. For Leipzig, Werder Bremen have a really strong momentum, or at least had win and draw. Leipzig, are they going to be pressured for the Champions League spots? I don't think so. 45 points for Eintracht Frankfurt. They can't catch Leipzig. So it looks to be season over for Leipzig. As you can tell by these arrows here, they've already qualified. So watch out. Dead rubber for Leipzig. They don't need to win. Werder Bremen are one of those sides. Get a win today, and they could be pressurising that Europa Conference League place. So plenty for Werder Bremen to think about, but the season is over for Leipzig. Mainz and Dortmund. Well, which Mainz will turn up today? How about Dortmund? Surely they're going to be affected by the Champions League final. That's going to be playing on their minds. So you've got to be very wary because they've already qualified for the Champions League and they've already done so by reaching the final. Mainz, well, they've still got the small matter of escaping the relegation zone, but they are okay. This will give them at least one more game in the relegation playoff places. So fascinating match there. Which Dortmund turns up today? Because they're going to be emotionally drained after that Champions League semi-final win. Brilliant performance, by the way, as well. Napoli and Bologna. I think this is all about European standings. And this is the kind of research we do at this stage of the season. It's motivation. Bologna, 4th, can still be caught by Roma. You can see there, 4-point gap. So their Champions League spot is not safe. Napoli will be looking at upgrading to the Europa League. A win today will help in that cause, but they will remain 8th. They've got the small matter of Fiorentina, arguably Torino, possibly Monza, to take that spot from them as well. So plenty to play for there. AC Milan and Cagliari. Let's have a look at the standings there for AC Milan. I think it's job done already. You can tell by the arrow. They've qualified for the Champions League. Cagliari, well, they're only 3 points above the relegation zone, so plenty to play for Cagliari. We might see an upset akin to Sassuolo beating Inter Milan recently. Spanish La Liga. It's a busy day, as you can see. Mallorca and Las Palmas. This is, I think, relegation-threatened Mallorca. Far better at home than they are away. Similar story for Las Palmas. Well, they've got a bit of a gap, a nice gap. 6 points, which is 2 consecutive wins. Mallorca, another 3 points would take them to 35. Las Palmas, well, they're 11 points above the relegation zone. Thankfully, with all of these defeats, they've just done enough with their earlier efforts this season. So the onus really is on Mallorca to get a result here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 1-0, that kind of thing in this particular match. Villarreal, the Yellow Submarine, taking on Sevilla. Villarreal are, well, they are only 7 points to Real Betis. Looks like they won't be able to grab it. Sevilla's season is over. They are safe. They've got to rebuild. They used to be a top 5 side. Granada and Real Madrid. Well, this is post-Champions League for Real Madrid again. That might catch them, again, emotionally drained. But they're just full of stars, aren't they? Granada, 21. Get a win today. They're up to 24. And a possible chance. Well, I don't think so. I think they're done. So that's got an element of dead rubber-ish about it. Atletico Bilbao and Osasuna. This is all about the Champions League places for Atletico Bilbao. They are keen to narrow that gap between themselves and Atletico Madrid. It's a gap of 6 points at the moment, so it's a must-win today for them. Osasuna are safe, you'd argue. 26 to 39, 13-point gap. Season over for Osasuna. Spanish La Liga 2. Allsvenskan as well. Not going to be researching the Allsvenskan or Superettan just yet. We'll keep those summer leagues until these elite leagues disappear. Well, MK Dons and Crawley is intriguing. It's a 0-3 lead for Crawley. And as you saw last night with that recovery from 2-0 down in the first leg to 0-2 in a matter of 16 minutes. You saw it in the previous match with Bolton at Barnsley, I think it was, scoring 3 goals against Bolton. So watch out. MK Dons might do it. They are favourite today. Crawley can afford a 2-0 defeat and still go through. Watch out. I think MK Dons, if they follow the pattern of second leg matches recently, the deficits tend to be breached. Viskausliga is with us. This is a tough match for Hacker against SJK. SJK Helsinki have a tough away fixture against Interturku. They should be one of the up there for the title, HJK Helsinki. So that would be one I'd be targeting at 5 o'clock. An incredibly difficult Bundesliga's Coupon. 2.5 the favourite. 2.5 the favourite. 2.45 the favourite. Oh boy. It's a toughie today. Do read the previews. They are brilliantly written at soccer24.com. Give you a handle on who needs what. Another pair of summer leagues. Molde favourite today against Rosenborg, and the Oberliga, which is effectively the English Championship version. Take our cues from the market initially, but we'll be getting more involved with these summer leagues once our elites have finished. There's a free to view live stream today at footballtradingprofits.com youtube.com/ at football trading profits. Come along, you'll see it there. 2:30 p.m. start. Look forward to seeing you. If you can make it, that would be excellent. Completely free to view. No obligation, no sign up, no nothing. Just come along. I hope to see you there. We're due for a very enjoyable afternoon. It's going to be very, very busy. Got to be planned. Got to have everything in order. I hope to see you later, and I hope to generate a few green screens for you today. Have a great Saturday, and I'll see you all later on, 2:30 p.m. youtube.com / at football trading profits.